với
Kết các bạn chọn cái tên. Ok này. Alo.
Nếu như các bạn nào đã từng livestream thế này, nó chả khác gì như là hướng dẫn cho quan mình ứng xử hiện tại nó bị muốn phần hành vì xem như thế này. Audio đối với phần này thì mình cái sample rate mình luôn để ở là 44.1 Hz, thì các bạn chỉ cần để như thế thôi, tại vì đa số cái nền tảng đều ủng hộ cái sample rate này. Còn đối với cái phần channel á, thì các bạn có thể chỉnh thành mono hoặc là stereo tùy vào các bạn. Đối với riêng mic của mình thì nó khá là đặc biệt, đó chính là mỗi lần mình để mono thì nghe tiếng nó là bị cao hơn. Các bạn trở nên chuyên nghiệp á, thì các bạn sẽ cần phải nhìn vào cái phần ở dưới đây, cái phần tab audio mixer này đó, cái phần mix bla 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 mà nó đang gọi là được cử động theo cái giọng nói của mình ấy, thì các bạn sẽ bấm vào cái phần bánh răng, sau đó các bạn vào phần filter. Thì cái filter này của các bạn khi các bạn mới mở lên nó sẽ không có những cái mình đang thấy trên đây, thay vào đó các bạn sẽ phải tự add effect vô. Thì đây là nơi để các bạn có thể add effect thôi, đơn giản như thế. Thì các bạn sẽ bấm vào nút dấu cộng, sau đó các bạn cái đầu tiên các bạn sẽ chọn là noise suppression là đây. Thì đối với phần noise suppression á, thì trên OBS nó sẽ có hai lựa chọn, một là cái speed, hai là cái orange noise.
hướng dẫn sửa lỗi. Các bạn sẽ mở cái phần mềm OBS lên nha, và các bạn tắt hết những cái âm thanh của máy đi, và các bạn chỉ bật là âm thanh của media thôi, và sau đó các bạn bấm là cài đặt. Tại mục media đó, âm thanh media, thì các bạn sẽ chọn là bật chức năng giám sát lên, hàng cuối cùng đó. Sau đó các bạn chọn đóng, và chúng ta sẽ bấm là mở cam ảo lên, và các bạn quay lại ngay chỗ cái phần mềm Desktop Live Studio, chọn đóng, bật chức năng giám sát lên, hàng cuối cùng đó. Sau đó các bạn chọn đóng. Và chúng ta sẽ bấm là mở cam ảo lên, và các bạn quay lại ngay chỗ cái phần mềm Desktop Live Studio, thì phần mềm này đã có âm thanh. Trong trường hợp nó vẫn chưa có âm thanh thì các bạn bấm cài đặt, và các bạn sẽ chọn danh sách thiết bị ở phía trong này. Như vậy là chúng ta đã cài xong. Cảm ơn các bạn. Đăng ký kênh để ủng hộ mình nhé.
Hello and on you'll go down to as you can see the microphone allow apps and windows stop working. Also going to want to make sure go ahead and go to privacy and security. Down at the bottom, OBS will not have permission to use your microphone.
Look.
Any friends or family that are showing signs of depression, you make sure you support them, and you are there for them. And you make sure you do what you gotta do.
Hi.
âm thanh nha. Mà mình thì là không nghe. Mọi người nghe đúng không? Mày quát em nha. Âm thanh nha. Nhìn vô cái bánh răng này nè. Mình thì là bấm vô nha, giám sát và âm thanh. Mọi người nghe đúng không? Mày quát em nha. Đóng. Nhìn vô cái bánh răng này nè. Rồi, bây giờ em mở là mọi người nghe. Giám sát và âm thanh. Đóng. Nhìn vô cái bánh răng này nè. Rồi, bây giờ em mở là mọi người nghe. Giám sát và âm thanh. Đóng. Nhìn vô cái bánh răng này nè. Rồi, bây giờ em mở là mọi người nghe.
Hey guys, if your microphone is not trouble, control the control panel icon sound, and then we can just select this sound tab. Now you need to come over to recording from the top here, and we should be able to see our microphone in this list. We need to control the control panel icon and make sure the view by is set to category, and we need to come inside of hardware and sound, and then we can just select this sound tab. Now you need to come over to recording from the top here, and we should be able to see our microphone in this list of inputs, and we first of all just want to make sure our microphone is actually enabled by right clicking and selecting enable, and then we need to set our microphone as the default device, and to do that just select your microphone and hit this set default button down here. And it's also a good idea to disable any devices we're not currently using just by right clicking and selecting disable. Then we need to right click on our microphone and come over to properties. Inside of the levels tab, just ensure this volume slider is set to full or nearly full, and then we can press apply and OK to save these changes, and we can head out of these windows. Then the next thing we're going to do is from our desktop we need to come down to our taskbar in the bottom here and right click on the speaker icon and come into open volume mixer. Then from this system tab, right click on the speaker icon and come into open volume mixer. Then from this system tab we just want to ensure that the correct input device is selected, so you should have an option to select your microphone from here, and then we can scroll down to the apps section, and as long as you're running OBS in the background at the moment you'll see this option for OBS to pop up, and once again just make sure the volume slider is set to full, and then come in this drop down arrow, and we need to make sure the correct input device is selected here, so just change it from default to your microphone, and then you can close out of this window. And next thing we're going to do is update our drivers, and you can do this by coming to the start menu and searching for device manager, then tap on the device manager tab, and in this list of items we need to expand audio inputs and outputs, and once again you should see your microphone listed inside of here. If you don't see your microphone inside of here, then there must be an issue with the actual microphone or hardware itself. So in that case, I just recommend checking the actual cable connection. But providing you do see your microphone inside of here, we just need to right click on it and come into update driver, and then we can search automatically for drivers, and as you can see, right click on it and come into update driver, and then we can search automatically for drivers, and as you can see I'm already running the latest drivers on my device, so we can head out of this window. Then we can close out of the device manager window, and we're next going to come back to our start menu and search for settings, and tap on the settings icon, and from the left come down to privacy and security, scroll all the way down till you see microphone and come inside of here, and then just ensure microphone access is toggled on, enabled, and also let apps access your microphone needs to be turned on. Then we can scroll down a little bit further and you should see this option for let desktop apps access your microphone, and once again this needs to be turned on. Once you've done all these settings inside of here, we can close out of this window, and we're going to come back to our start menu, and this time we're going to search for services and tap on the services tab. Then scroll all the way down this long list of processes, and we're looking for something called Windows Audio, should be right at the bottom here, and once you've found it, we just need to double click on this service and ensure the service status is set to running. If it's not, we can just press this start button, make sure the startup type is set to automatic, and then we can press apply and OK to save these changes. And lastly, you just want to right click on Windows Audio and select restart. And now inside of OBS itself, so just launch up the OBS Studio application, and from here we're going to come into File and Settings and head over to the Audio tab from the left here, and underneath Mic Audio we need to change this from default to the microphone that you have selected, and then we can close out of this window. Obviously just make sure to save the changes so we can select yes here, and the last thing that we need to check is that our microphone is actually turned up on this slider window here, so we can just adjust this by dragging this volume slider. And that's it guys. By following all of these steps, that should have fixed any
Navigate up.
This guide useful, then please consider subscribing, and once you've done that, then please consider leaving a like, and let's get right into this guide. Make sure you watch this full video because I'm going to be going over multiple fixes you can try. So firstly, come into OBS and go and open up your settings in the bottom right like so. Once your settings open, we want to go to your audio settings, so just give it a moment and then go to audio. Then what you need to do is come down to mic/auxiliary audio and go and click on the option here. And just make sure that your correct microphone is selected. Don't use default, make sure the actual microphone is selected. Now if your mic isn't appearing in this list here, then it's pretty likely that your mic isn't working or it's not even plugged in. So make sure that it's properly plugged in. If there's any lights on it, then it lights up, because if that's the case, it should then appear here. If it still isn't appearing after you've plugged in, it may be worth closing OBS and restarting your computer and then opening OBS, and it should then appear here. Then go and select it and go and tap OK. Then come to the audio mixer and go and look for mics moving as I speak because it's detecting sound. So make sure that the audio slide is all the way up to 0 decibels, and this means that you're going to be on the highest volume or pretty high volume, and that it should be making movements. If that still isn't working or it's just very quiet, then what we can do is go to our sound settings. To do that, you can just go and open up your settings by pressing on the start menu, but I prefer to just right click on our audio and choose the input here, which is classed as a volume. So at the minute mine is 71, but you could make yours quieter or louder. You probably want to make it louder though if you can't hear it very well in OBS. So it's definitely worth doing that in your sound settings.
In this and select and you on this drop down list, what I'd recommend you do for you until you see the C. So the first thing you want to do is right click on the sound icon in the bottom right corner and select sound settings. From here, you want to scroll down until you see the input option, and you want to ensure you've selected Now, if you don't see it on this drop-down list, what I'd recommend you do is unplug your mic from your computer and then plug it back in and see if it pops up. Turn to input devices to troubleshoot common problems, and this may help you fix the issue as well. Now, in this same section, you'll also find